What's up, everybody? How you doing tonight? Episode number 389, Drink It Till You podcast, the only podcast that lasts until the last drop. How the hell is your Sunday going? How the hell was your week? Hope everybody's okay. I hope you're safe out there. Little Turnstile to start off the episode there. That's off their new album. Go check it out if you haven't yet. It's definitely different from things they've written before. It's got a little bit more chill vibe to it. If you were there in the early on days with Turnstile, I mean, you were just looking for that hardcore album to come out. You know what I mean? For the next album. Members changed in the band. One of the original guys, Brady, he's no longer playing guitar in the band and writing music for the band. They got a chick in there now playing guitar. Inevitably, I mean, it's just going to happen. If you rotate members, you're bound to change the sound, right? I mean, everybody has their own influence. Everybody plays their own way. And I don't even know if Brady's still playing music. Like, did he start another band? I don't know. But yeah, Little Turnstile there. That's the second track I've heard off their new album. And I kind of do it this way now. Like, I don't seek out full albums anymore. You know, with the streaming and everything, like, it'll play, you know, you put shuffle on enough times, it knows I like Turnstile. It's going to play a track off the new album. And that's kind of how I like to explore new music, rather than front to back, you know, and coming up with an assessment on the album. I just like it to randomly just mix into my regular stuff I'm listening to. YouTube Music is great about that. So yeah, that's the second track I've heard off the album. I love it. I didn't think I was going to love it as much as I do. Like I said, those old school days when they first started out, I mean, you kind of want the band to just keep writing that style of music forever, you know? But if you listen to hardcore, you know that's just not possible, man. It's just, a band writes an album, a really good first album, possibly really good two first albums, and they end up breaking up, you know? So I think that's the secret. Turnstile has figured out the secret to still be considered a hardcore band, but not break up. You just have to change the style a little bit. You know, if you change it and you go a little bit lighter, a little bit softer, a little bit more melodic, a little bit more laid back, you can stay together as a band, even if you replace some members. So yeah, I'm loving that so far, man. I'm hoping more plays randomly on my playlist. What I'm drinking tonight, by the way, this takes me back, dude. It's not rum and Coke. It's rum and RC Cola. How long has it been since you've had an RC Cola? It literally takes me back to, like, YMCA days. Like, growing up playing soccer. You know, you'd always get the $1, so, you know, you could spin in the vending machine and get either a snack or something to drink. And that was always my choice. It was always between Sunkist and RC Cola. So, yeah, I mean, that with a sandwich, it's like I'm in freaking third grade again. You know what I mean? Just brings back good memories. But, yeah, that's what I'm drinking tonight. Little RC Cola, little rum over ice, which is melted because of the excruciating heat happening outside. I'm going to have to just suck it up. And I'm just going to have to make an indoor studio, man. Like, I'm going to have to figure out some way to get an indoor studio to sound as good as it sounds in the car. If you haven't been listening to this podcast for a long time, I am currently sitting in my car. And the only reason for that is I just love the sound of the car. Like, inside, it's like there's nothing bouncing around. There's no reverb. You can't really hear anything on the outside of the car unless it's super loud. You know, like if a motorcycle comes by, you'll probably be able to hear that. But, yeah, I love to do it in the car just specifically for the sound. But this summer heat, man, it's going to beat me back. It's going to beat me inside. I just got to figure out a way to get just as good of a sound as I'm getting now in a closet. I don't know. Where do I stuff myself? Where am I saying? Not the bathroom. That's the worst place. I guess it's going to have to be a closet. That's like the smallest, most compact place to where your voice isn't going to bounce around. It sounds good, nice and compact. But I'll figure all that out eventually. I don't know. For today, I got the AC rolling in the car. I got the blinds blocking the sun from my eyes. It's still sunshine. Dude, it doesn't get dark until like 9:30 now. It's so weird. But let's go ahead and have our first drink of the episode. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. Dude, my cup is fucking sweating. That's how damn hot it is. That's good. This is my second glass, by the way, or cup of rum and RC Cola. What do we got going on, man? I've been doing some shopping online, looking at some electronic drum sets, dude. I didn't have the bug to write music for like, it felt like 2-3 years. And all of a sudden lately, I'm just getting like all these melodies, all these rhythms in my head. So I'm making it a point. I've always wanted an electric drum set, like a legit electric drum set. I've had 2 different electric drum sets in my life. And they were just, the first one I had, I mean, it's the Toys R Us one. You know what I mean? Like, there's no muffling to it. You're literally hitting, like, plastic sticks that look like wood onto, like, plastic drum heads. So it's not quiet at all. My second drum set was a little bit more advanced. My second electric drum set was a little bit more advanced. It had rubber tips on the sticks, so you couldn't hear me hitting the plastic as hard. But it's just not the same feel. Like what I'm looking for, and maybe you guys can help me because I don't know what I should get. I don't want to spend $10,000 on an electric drum set. It's so weird to look at them too. It's like the $10,000 sets, they look like real drum sets now. It's like they've just come full circle where they used to just look like electric drum sets. They want them to look like a shell and like an acoustic drum set now, even though it's electric. It's so strange. But I'm not going for that tier of electric drum set, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not playing drums for Britney Spears on her huge European tour, you know what I mean? Like, I need something that's kind of in the middle. It's not the baseline one, it's not the basic, it's not the $10,000 professional one. But I need something kind of in the middle that's still like you could record with and it's going to pick up every single stroke, every single dynamic. And all that revolves around is pretty much just the brain. I am looking at Roland. Shout out to Roland. Hey, Roland, by the way, if you want to sponsor an episode or sponsor this podcast for the rest of my life, send me one of your best professional electric drum sets. I will shout it to the rooftops how much I love it. But no, I am looking for a Roland. I've seen Alesis. I've seen Yamaha. Long time ago, I was looking at, it was just the drum heads. They were called Hart, H-A-R-T. Those were like solid with a good warranty or whatever. But yeah, I'm just looking for something middle of the road. I don't want to spend $600 and I also don't want to spend $10,000, you know? Somewhere in the middle to where I could go on tour with Britney Spears if she asked me to. Is she still playing music? No, dude. She's swinging knives around in her living room like a crazy person. Oh, don't hate on Britney. Don't be mean to Britney. She's been through a lot. Yes, she has a lot of money, but she's had a hard life. I talked about that a few episodes back. That poor lady. Anyways, we're not going to talk about Britney Spears this episode. But yeah, if you have any ideas, man, if you have an electric set and you're like happy with it, and it mainly has to do with, not all of it, but it mainly has to do with that computer, that brain. You know what I mean? Like if you get a good one of those and just some decent middle of the road pads that can handle it, you're ready to rock and roll, man. That's what I want. I want every note to be audible. You know, I want every fill to be heard. You know, I want that, like I said, if I do a swell on the little rubber cymbal, I want it to swell. You know what I mean? Hopefully that's not the top of the line like Roland brain that I'm looking at. But yeah, write me in, drinkittillyouPodcast@gmail.com if you have any experience, or maybe you have a recommendation. Maybe you're like, hey, don't go with Roland. Go with this Yamaha with this brain and you'll never look, anything, dude. Just recommend anything. I'm doing my research. I don't know who I'm getting it from yet. Do I get it from good old Guitar Center or Sweetwater Music? I'm kind of leaning towards Sweetwater, and I don't know why. I've shopped at Guitar Center my entire life. It just seems more... I know Guitar Center has an online store, just like Sweetwater does. I just don't know why Sweetwater... It just feels like they're better somehow. Like, the musicians I've known that have purchased or financed things off of Sweetwater Music, it just seems simple. There's nothing too crazy, like they're not... I know Guitar Center has the credit card or whatever, but, do I want another credit card? That could be a bad thing, potentially. Giving me a credit limit and then, like, sending me into a music store. And that's why they do it. They know what they're doing. But, yeah, giving me a credit limit, that would be the downfall, dude. If they're like, your credit limit is $15,000, that would be a detriment. I would literally just, like, have to go cut up the credit card so I never use it. Unless I want to be in debt to Guitar Center for the rest of my life, because I will spend all that money. They give me that kind of limit. New guitar, new electric drum set, just a whole new setup in general. I'm not great at piano. I'll have a freaking piano in the living room too. You know what I mean? It's a bad thing. I get it. Like, it's always the kind of the thing in the, like, TV sitcoms. It's like, oh, she's got my credit, talking about his wife. She's got my credit card again. Oh, honey, what did you spend? Like, that would be, I get it. I totally get that housewife spending that much. It's like, I would do that too. Not necessarily on clothes, not on shoes, obviously not makeup, but dude, if you send me into a guitar or music store with a credit limit, oh my God. I don't have that kind of self-control. So, maybe that's why I'm leaning towards Sweetwater, because they'll just go, okay, you finance this one for this much a month and you're good. They don't give me like a limit to use. Guitar Center will give me that credit card and I'll be screwed. Be coming on here complaining. I can't pay my rent, man. I got another electric drum payment this month. No, that won't happen. You got to have self-control. You got to have some discipline. The other thing I've been looking at is my very first car. When I was in high school, just learning how to drive, I didn't go with the latest, greatest Chevy Camaro. I wasn't driving the Dodge Challenger. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't about being flashy to me. I just found something in a car lot that I liked. And it was actually really fulfilling too, because the way I made the money to buy the car in the first place was playing drums for a theater. It was called Water Tower Theater in Addison, Texas. And dude, we do like winter shows, we do like summer shows. Some shows would be outdoors. We would do plays. One of my favorite plays that I got to be a part of was called Assassins. I'm pretty sure that's like a Broadway play. But dude, I was just like blown away by that play. Like, I loved sitting down in the pit on my drum set every night, like listening to the actors do the same performance every night. It was really, I don't know. It was like so cool. I never thought I'd be into something like that. But being down in the pit and listening to them deliver the lines in the same way was really cool. And that's basically how I made money to buy my first car. Was I did a bunch of those shows, and dude, the pay was like ridiculous, man. Like, it was really good. It's like $2,500 for like 2 weeks of work. And of course, okay, let's say 3 weeks of work, because you had to practice and you had to listen to the play or the recital we were gonna, whatever it was. You had to listen and kind of play along with it or whatever. I had capabilities to do that. And then you'd show up and do the show for a couple of weeks and they'd cut you a check, $2,500. So I took that $2,500. If you're from Dallas, you know Harry Hines. I took that $2,500 over off of Harry Hines with all the fucking hookahs. And went to a car lot. I found a 1977 Ford Granada, and I for whatever reason, and it's like the ugliest color, dude. It was like an egg yolk yellow. You know what I mean? Like a scrambled egg yellow color. But I fucking loved it, dude. I love that car. So I kind of been online shopping for those. I kind of want to get my original car back eventually. You know what I mean? Not saying I would like get rid of the car I have now, just as an extra, just something to kind of drive around and cruise around in on the weekend. I think that would be so cool, dude. I'll never forget having my drums loaded up. You know, after I bought the car, I was still playing the shows, you know, for the theater and everything. I'll never forget having, it was only a 2-door. It had a trunk too, but it had back seats. It's just you had to open the 2 front doors and lean up the seats to get to the back seats. But I'll never forget, I had my whole drum set just stuffed in the back, and I'm driving out to Flower Mound to do some gig or practice for some gig or whatever. And I specifically remember one guy in a like red, brand new, shiny Cadillac. And we were on the highway. We're both going the same way. And he just rolled up next to me. And I look over at him, and he's fucking dying laughing. I guess at the car, maybe the color, the fact that I had my drum stuffed in there, you know, I'm like... But he was fucking cracking up at me on the highway. And I just laughed, too. Like, I didn't take any offense to it. I wasn't like, oh, fuck you. You know, I wasn't like any of that. I was just like, yeah, but got my drums loaded up. Like, I'm headed to go make some money and play some music. Like, I'm happy as hell. You can laugh all you want to, sir. I'm having the time of my fucking life. But yeah, he was definitely laughing at me. I always thought about that sentence, like, I never really cared. I never really cared that guy was laughing at me, just for the fact that, like I said, I had it made. I'm driving out to go make money, playing music with my drum set in tow. I'm happy as a damn clam, you know? But yeah, I love the steering wheel in that car. So this was before power steering. And the steering wheel was giant. It was like a giant circle, but the steering wheel was also like as thin as, like if you put 2 pencils side by side and like stretched them out and made a steering. That's how thin the steering wheel was, and it was large because, like I said, there's no power steering, so you had to like really swing that bitch to get it to turn. But the big thin wheel made it easier. You didn't have to have power steering. And I feel so sad the day I let that car go. It was really before I knew anything about cars. You know, after that, years later, I had a 1966 Ford F100, and I learned a shit ton about, you know, just basic mechanics of a car / truck with that truck. And when I had that 1977 Ford Granada, it just stopped working one day. I don't know what exactly it was. I didn't know shit about cars. And, you know, I'm talking to my parents. I'm like, I guess I'm going to have to get something else. And, you know, maybe we can scrap it, get some money. And, you know, I'll use that money to buy something new. Which, oh my God, my next car. Oh, Lord. I bought a $500, for $500, I bought a 1988 Honda Civic hatchback. And literally everything that dude came out and told me that day that he fixed on the car were he told me one of the things was like the water pump. Oh yeah, I just fixed the water pump. I just fixed this. I just fixed that. The first thing to fucking break on that car was the water pump. I'm like, this asshole, he didn't fix shit. He thought he fixed it, or he knew it was going out and he said he fixed it, whatever. That was a turd. That was a train wreck. You know, I know the Hondas do last forever and they are good cars, but whatever they did to that car, man, it was not good. It did not last. I think literally I got like 2 or 3 rides to school and back out of it before it was like I needed another car. But anyways, that 1977 egg yellow Ford Granada, I took it to the scrap yard. This guy saw it. He was there to scrap some things too. I'm assuming he was a mechanic, and he was like, dude, I will buy that from you right now. I was like, well, the scrap yard's going to give us, $100 for it. Can you give me $150? And he ended up giving me $150. He towed the car away. I had the cash in my pocket. Dude, I bet he took that thing home and like, I don't know, took a screwdriver to it and probably had it running the same day. And I always think back to that car. I'm like, damn, dude, like if I just would have known a little bit more, I could probably still have that car. Dude, I had all these plans. I was going to redo the interior, like a candy apple red with like white trim. I was going to redo the outside candy apple red, like a sparkly metallic candy apple red. Red dice in the mirror, you know, the whole thing. I was going to redo it. I had all these plans. It died on me. I ended up giving it away, whatever. But yeah, this time around, I'm sticking with the original, man. I'm not painting it. I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to keep it the original. I liked the original. Dude, I fell in love with the car the first day I bought it, even though it was probably to most people the most hideous thing you'd ever seen. I wouldn't be caught dead driving that to school. Dude, fuck that. This is my car. Like, this is mine. That was the feeling. So anyways, yeah, those are the two things I've been really kind of shopping around for. Electric drum sets, the 1977 Ford Granadas, dude. When they're done up, I mean, they're probably $15,000 to $25,000. It's kind of outrageous, but I do still want one. I will get one eventually. And like I talked about, getting a motorcycle as well. You know, I'm kind of batting around a bunch of different ideas. You know, I would just love to have that car to ride around in on the weekend. You know, take my daughter out, go cruise on the street in the old school car. When it's a nice day, it's not blistering outside. Get that I mean, is there anything better than that? That's awesome, right? That's just like a great thing. You know, before internet, before Wi-Fi, you know, if you're a little bit older, that's what you did. You cruised down Galloway. You know what I mean? Like all night, you know, trying to look for your friends or, you know, looking for a chick to talk to, whatever, you know, that's what you did. And people still do that, man. I don't think that lifestyle will ever go away, and I hope it never does. It's a great thing to do, especially like family oriented. You know, take the car out for the day, go cruise around a little bit, stop at the ice cream shop on the way back. You know what I mean? Like, keep it old school. You know, like that sounds like a blast to me. But anyways, let's go ahead and have another drink. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. A little bit of NASCAR on today. I believe Bell finished in 10th or 11th. It was a road course today through the mean streets of Chicago. I heard, you know, they had to equip all the NASCAR cars with like bulletproof glass and I mean, they're driving through Chicago. I'm just kidding. They didn't do that. Why would you say that, Chris? Why would you put that evil on Chicago? Well, because it's true. You know, Chicago's a rough place. Even though when I was there, like I was having a blast. You know, it didn't seem that, I mean, there were a lot of homeless. I will say that. There were a lot of homeless. But everything was cool. Like from the stadium, you know, I went to see the White Sox and the Cubs play in Wrigley Field, like a legendary stadium. And yeah, me and my friend, I mean, we just got, dude, I had 2 Moscow Mules. I still have like the Cubs container it came in. I had like 2 Moscow Mules. And I don't know how much liquor they put in there, but dude, I was gone. Luckily, everything in Chicago is like walking distance from the stadium. I mean, there's a bar everybody goes to drink at across the street from the stadium. And then they, you know, drink over there, and then the game starts, and they go over to the stadium, drink more, and then go back to the bar when the game's over, probably get some food. It wasn't a dump, you know, but I know it can be rough. I am totally serious about that. I know it's not a city you want to just go goof off in, and you just go anywhere you'd like. It's not that kind of place, you know. But yeah, NASCAR did the race, the road course in Chicago. It was actually beautiful scenery. I'm just talking shit about the crime, but actually like them driving through the city was actually kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like seeing all the buildings. And I love that about Chicago too. Like the architecture. You know, here in Texas, we have a lot of land. We have a lot of space, you know, so we just build out. Like, for lack of a better word, we just make everything fatter You know what I mean? Like bigger, longer houses. And in Chicago, they build up. I mean, there's just not anywhere else that you can't go fatter. You can't make a wider duplex. You just have to stack on top and stack on top and stack on top. But yeah, my driver, you know, I'm pretty sure he's in the playoffs. I don't have it exactly, all the numbers in front of me, but I'm pretty sure my driver's in the playoffs, which I'm super excited about. Not his best day today, even though I did see he was down in like 17th place. They were getting a little active there on the course, and people were knocking each other out and bumping each other. Do this, I can't remember who it was. I mean, it looked like he barely touched the wall, and his left front tire was like bent inward, like toward the engine. It's like, dude, you just don't realize how fast they're going. Like, we're watching it on TV, and we can see the miles per hour that they're going, you know, but it just doesn't, until they barely touch a wall and like bend a whole tire like that, you're like, holy shit, dude, like they're going so fast. It's scary. I don't know how you have that kind of guts to go that fast, race after race after race. I mean, you can talk all the shit you want about a NASCAR driver and they're not athletes and all this and that, but not anybody can just jump in there and do it. It's not that easy. It's really not, like, and especially on those road courses, like, you know, they're not my favorite, to be honest. Like, I like the oval tracks. The road courses are cool. You know, they're okay, but it's a constant, like, slow down and go around the corner and then speed up on the straightaway and then slow down and go around the next corner and then speed up on the straight. It's like, I don't know. It's okay. I would just rather see max miles per hour versus max miles per hour, and then you stack on top of it who's the better driver, you know, that day. That's a little bit more exciting to me. But yeah, my guy didn't do too bad. Blaney finished lower than that. Bowman, I have no idea where he finished. As far as Joe Gibbs Racing goes, they've been doing a lot better, and it seems like the other guys on Christopher Bell's team, it's like when other teammates are doing good, Christopher Bell's not doing so good. And when Christopher Bell's doing good, there's nobody else on his team near him to, like, help him. So it's kind of a weird thing. I don't know. I don't know if they try to help you. I mean, I would assume if they're on the same racing team, you'd want to help each other, right? I've seen Talladega Nights. I have a vague understanding of NASCAR from that movie. But yeah, I hope everybody had a great 4th of July. It's time for a finger check, time for a toe check. I did see, you know, rapper names are kind of funny to me, dude. It's like anybody can have a rapper name, and if something happens to them, it's like you're supposed to just like know who that is. It seems like they refer to them by their rapper name. Like, I don't remember the guy's name, but he blew his fucking fingers off this 4th of July. Some rapper. Lil AC or I don't know. I'm just making up rap names, but Lil Car Studio, whatever. I don't know. I don't know any good rap names. Lil Rum and Coke blew his fingers off this weekend. I'm like, are we really using his, like, rapper name? Nobody knows who the fuck that is. I'm sorry. Unless you're deep into that world, like, I don't know who that is. You can refer to them by their street name, by their rap name all you want. I couldn't pick them out in a lineup. I couldn't pick them out off the street. I wouldn't, like, go over for an autograph and be like, hey, your little podcast, right? Your little podcast. Oh, what's up, little podcast? And like, I don't fucking know. I just love how in the news they just refer to them as their rapper name. Like, we're all supposed to know who the fuck that is. We don't know. We don't know who that is. But yeah, yet another statistic. And I'm not going to lie, dude, when I was doing fireworks with my daughter, is like the Roman candle. You know, you can hold the Roman candle in your hand and, you know, it'll like shoot up into the air. My daughter didn't want to do it. It was a little too scary for her. So I held it, lit it. And right before it's like the fuse is going down, I'm like, I do kind of have this little like anxiety moment of like, please don't let me be the guy who's had a podcast for 7 years and every 4th of July I bitch about being safe and bitch about not blowing your fingers off and bitch about, you know, people being stupid on these holidays. And please don't let me be the one to lose my fucking hand. And I have to go on episode number 389 and be like, well, it happened, you know, it happened, guys. It finally happened to me. And I'll tell you what, not, you know, like please don't let me be that guy. And yeah, it gave me a little bit of anxiety, even holding that little Roman candle. You know, what if you read the label wrong? Or, you know, all the things run through your head to where it's like, is this a fucking mortar and I'm still holding it? Like, but yeah, everything was good. They shot off 10 little shots and I put it down and I was like, you know, it's fine. It's good. But yeah, I would be lying if I said that little thought didn't run through my head that I'm going to be the idiot to blow my fingers off after bitching about it for years, or, you know, telling people to be safe and all this and that. Like, how would I even fucking start this recording device if I didn't have fingers? Like, I guess I'd just have to use my nose. Oh, dude, getting this drink up to my face to, like, I think the podcast would just have to end out of embarrassment, sheer embarrassment, and also like the logistics of pressing record, pressing stop. Like, all this shit's out the window if you lose some fucking fingers, man. I'm not laughing at anybody if you did. Who was the football player, man? The football player that played for the Giants. I keep wanting to say George St. Pierre, but I know that's a UFC fighter, but I think his last name was St. Pierre, or St. Paul, John Paul St. Pierre. What is his name? It was like John Paul or something like that. Was it John Paul St. Pierre? I think it might have been him. But yeah, dude, NFL lineman. Just 1 year, he shows up to fucking NFL camp, and he's got all his phalanges, and the next season he shows up and he doesn't. He doesn't have all of them. He's missing some digits. I mean, it can literally happen to anybody. I saw this video. These people strap like 400 mortars together, some crazy shit like that. And the dude has them by like a strap, and they're like resting on his leg, and he's like spinning around in a circle, and they're all firing off, just going crazy. And luckily, I mean, yeah, no tragedy there, but I mean, that's exactly how that shit happens, dude. When you start getting a little too creative of how you're going to shoot your fireworks off, yeah, and you add a little bit of booze. We all know how that is. You add a little bit of booze in there. There's some chick with the low-cut top that you kind of been liking for a while, so you have to step up and be a hero. And before you know it, the ambulance is taking you away in a pool of blood. Jesus Christ, Chris, did it have to get that graphic? I don't know what I'm talking about. I hope you're all safe out there. I hope you had a great 4th of July, a safe 4th of July. As always, don't drink and drive. Treat yourself to an Uber. Treat yourself to a Lyft. Treat yourself to a DoorDash. Just be safe about it. Treat yourself to a Waymo. Yeah, just, you know, be safe out there. Let's go ahead and have our last drink of the episode, and we'll call it a night. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. All right, that's going to do it. I will talk to you all next week. I love you all very much. Are there any other holidays I need to warn about before we end this episode? Do I need to tell you guys to be safe about anything? You know the drill, right? We all know the drill. So anyways, that was the last drop. I love you all. Be safe out there. I will talk to you next week. Bye.